Alrighty guys, Cory here for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, bringing you quarterfinal action. We've got a star-studded card, but I've got a star of a stud sitting next to me. Nikko Locastro, how you doing?
Yo, buddy. Super stoked to be here, live on the action with some top players.
Absolutely, and these guys are ready to put on a show. Ricky Wysocki, Kevin Jones, Paul Ulibarri, and Calvin Heimburg all battling head-to-head, winner-take-all, except for the wild card, to advance to the semifinals. Ricky starting us off with the up-the-middle shot. This is a bold choice, Nikko.
That's the first shot I've seen up the middle in the whole tournament.
Usually people are trying to bend it right of that white tree in the middle, but that's going to work out. That's right down by the pin. Kevin here going pretty neutral fairway driver. What's your play here, Nikko?
I'm going to throw a Spirit turned over out of my hand, try to skip it up there.
Okay.
Looked like Kevin gave himself a long look.
Yuli opting for the flat to a little bit of a hyzer finish on that right side.
Put a good line on it.
That's a great line. This hole is so tough. So starting off your round with the birdie is crucial.
Calvin's got a lot of power. Goes up the middle as well. Couldn't tell if him or Ricky were meaning to take that shot, but
He'll take being circle's edge.
it skipped a little left, pin high. Kevin, known to be one of the best jump putters on tour, really likes to take a stab at him.
Yeah, obviously not the start he wants. Calvin here from the woods giving it an equally as good bet.
It's a really good run.
Rick did scoot a little long.
It's not like Rick.
Not at all. That was just nose down. Hey.
Looked like it didn't take very much time.
Yeah, hole 1, 2. He's got 17 more putts to lock him in.
Yuli's been putting really good this season. Looks like he changed up his putting stroke a little bit.
Yeah.
He does that often, but it looks like the new stroke's working out.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of almost in that like Seppo category of like, oh, you got a new putt, but he's crushing it right now. These guys all tapping in their pars, moving us on to hole 2. Again, remember, we're not playing against anyone else but the people in front of you. Yuli taking that one-stroke lead. Now everybody's chasing him. Hole 2, 600-foot par 4. Really unique hole, Nikko.
This is a tough hole. You really just have to put it in position. It's all about putting that first shot in a spot that you can shoot the gap, so you don't want to be left or right. It's really better to just be directly straight down the middle.
Yeah, not often do you see a hole that has a double mando like genuinely halfway down the fairway on a 600-foot hole, so very unique.
A lot of sidearm players like to bend it out to the left.
Yep, draw it all the way back. Yuli kind of go a little short, but he's at least in line, like you were saying.
See some mid-range throws and also fairway shots. Not too many people are taking a driver on this hole.
That's the perfect spot to be. That's that aggressive line straight at it, though. You know, risking getting a little squirrely.
Kevin was telling me he goes putter at it.
Yeah, jokery.
Say he's one of the strongest putter throwers on tour, for sure, without a doubt.
We've been filming him a lot in the past like month or so, and just watching him throw those jokeries all over the place.
Him and
So
Kevin
impressive.
both are two of the strongest power players on tour, so you'll see some distance out of these guys.
Yeah, Calvin opting with the putter there as well. Yuli now going, I believe, fairway driver here because he went a little short.
A little short of the Mando, but
That's a great shot.
Got it up there, pin high,
like
just inside the circle. He's been throwing his mids really good this year too.
I agree, especially on those flip-up lines, like in the woods. I just remember specifically Brewster Ridge. It was just a thing of beauty.
He's one of those guys that really puts in the work on his off season, so you could tell that he's been out to the field learning his discs.
Kevin, not super satisfied with the shot. Yeah, it does leave it a little short there, unfortunately.
Circle's edge, maybe?
Yeah, and like you said, he's one of the best jump putters on tour.
Rick doing what Rick does.
Just dropping it right next to the bucket.
See if our boy can knock one down. Oh,
Yes,
that's in the heart.
sir. Dude, that was so pure.
That's dead center. Way to go, Kevin.
Look at that walk. That's that swagger walk after you hit a big putt.
I think he knew that one was going in.
I think so, too. Calvin from Circle's Edge himself. I think he knew that wasn't going in.
Just got the nose down a little bit. Yuli takes a good stab at it.
That is a good putt. I like how he releases his putts like real high. It's almost from his like chest or chin.
Yeah, I think he keeps the disc like right in the chain center. He doesn't go left or right or high or low. So it always looks like he's gonna make it.
Rick tapping in the easy birdie. You see Germ on the bag. Unfortunately eliminated during the second round. But hanging around, giving Yuli a hand. I don't know why you need a caddy with a cart, but maybe it's just emotional support.
I'm telling you, the cart's the new age way to do it.
Absolutely, especially on a course like this, dead flat.
I think
so
in the next
long.
few years, you're going to see a lot of people put the bags in the closet and start picking up carts.
I think you're definitely right. Hole 3 here, 314 foot. Really a force over to the right and draw back with something stable if you're that big righty.
I like this hole because it gives you options. You got the hyzer gap on the right, or you could take a mid-range or even the sidearm.
Yeah, everything plays.
A sidearm brings in that tree on the left, though.
I think the best way to like park it is throwing this line.
I like the hyzer.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like if I get around the tree on the right, it's going to skip up there and I'll be on the green most of the time.
Kevin going with the overstable. I believe that might be his respecty.
I think he went short of the gap he intended, but he's still up there. See if Calvin could lace the hyzer gap. It's looking good. Very good.
That was great. I thought for a second we might have had magic there.
He gave it a run. This is Rick's money range.
Cash money is right. It's just so effortless.
He usually makes them from just outside the circle.
Yep. And no jumps. He, you'll see Kevin, he's a big-time jump putter. Maybe needed one there.
Probably feeling like he should have jumped it.
Yep.
Calvin needs this one.
Yeah, the worst-case scenario, you slide by the chains for the ace run, and then you put yourself out to that, missable putt range, and then you feel obligated. Like, you're so close to acing, you have to deuce it now. Kevin
Sometimes it takes a handful of holes to get warmed up, too, so we'll see if some of these guys can pick up the pace.
And I gotta hand it, this facility is unique in that there is plenty of warm-up space. Compared to a lot of courses we play on tour, you guys get a net. Maybe at Hall of Fame there was a target on the net. That was nice. But here, you can let it rip.
Yeah, it really helps to have the room in the morning so you could watch your Frisbees and how they're reacting if there is wind.
Which there is going to be for our final round. 15 to 20 mile-an-hour projected. Could be interesting. Till then, here is hole 4, 306 feet. Really just dead
The
straight.
typical play is just a hyzer flip mid-range and try to hit the wood.
Yep, if you base that wood, you're what, maybe 15 to 18? But a pretty routine putt.
Like Ely laced it. That's what you want.
Yeah, I like that. Just drifting right of the basket.
Like I was saying, Ely really's been throwing the mid-range well. He knows what his discs are going to do. Same with this guy.
That's nice. Just that straight.
That's the play.
Shot.
Just powering it into the steps.
Calvin going back to the putter.
A little bit high, but it's coming in nicely.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to contend with those trees for a sec, but just dove in.
It's almost identical to Ricky's shot.
Kev going back to the jokery. Get out of the way.
Kevin went more with the hyzer flip line.
What's your play here?
I'm just throwing it dead straight,
Yeah?
straight as I can
Straight
keep
mid-range?
it.
I like it. All these guys just with these, like we said, maybe that 18 to 20 foot range if you hit those stairs. I like the infrastructure, improvements from last year to this year. Did you play the tournament last year?
I did.
And what's your opinion on kind of a lot of these raised baskets? There's sand there to catch your disc, but also if you don't make it onto that, you do have a putt to make.
Honestly, I feel like it's good for the spectators, though, because when you see someone park it on the sand, then it's a little more impressive.
Yeah, like I said, it's visually...
Especially on this hole that's got the built-up platform. When you could throw it, it's just impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive.
You can land it in the sand pit.
Exactly. It gives you like that visual representation of a good shot, more so than just hitting the grass. Hole 5. This one, I feel like speaks to you, Nikko. It really, I think, plays to your strengths. That force over with something stable and just draw it back left.
Yeah, you just got to keep it wide to the right because typically you'll see players skip to the left and you have a lot of trees to contend with. So you want to keep it out to the right and give yourself a better look at it.
Absolutely.
See what these guys can do.
Yeah, circle's edge short and right is way more preferred than long left.
If you're really good, you could just bust a straight line at it. Looked like Yuli had the right play. Didn't get the skip he wanted, but
No.
he kept it out to the right.
Yeah, is going to have some trees. Like we said, there are a few trees on the right, though. He did find them.
Rick put a nice flex on it. He's got to keep it right about there.
That's perfect, dude. That is perfect. He threw it low, but had that like nose up air bouncy quality to it. He just kept it going. Oh, no.
Calvin pulls it a little bit to the right.
Yeah, catches that center tree, and unfortunately...
Found the cabbage.
Yep.
A lot lower than he wanted, but he put a little body English on it, and he's a hard thrower, so he gave himself a look.
Yeah, when you can throw as hard as he does, you miss obstacles, you're going to end up down there eventually. Calvin with the flex over the top sidearm.
If he can get up and down, that'd be impressive.
And he's in position.
He got on the green. Got a little work to do.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can get focused on this putt.
It's always tough to throw 2-3 shots in a row, you know, and just maintain that, not have a sec to just figure out what you're doing. Uli, 4 birdies to start, and he's eyeing down a tough par putt.
That was a solid putt from Kevin.
That's
Had
great.
to straddle around the tree.
I'm curious with guys... throws the earbud in the mouth, walks away. Curious with guys who straddle he knew it out of his hand. It's a significant advantage, you know, because guys who tend to take the, you know, more straightforward approach are going to eventually have to straddle. Whereas
It's
straddle
good
putters, you know.
To practice many angles on your putt, you know. You never know. You're going to have to hyzer one around a tree. You're going to have to put an anhyzer on one, so you can't always use the exact same putt.
Uli cleaning up the unfortunate bogue. Not what you want to see.
That
after
one
4
stings a
straight
little
birdies.
bit after a hot start, especially.
There you have it, 2-stroke swings for 2 of our competitors. And now it's a battle. Rick's at 4, Kev's at 3, Uli's at 3. It's going to get interesting.
This is by far one of the most challenging holes on the course. This is highly demanding for 3 shots in a row, and you're lucky to be on the green in 4.
Absolutely. It's one of those holes that genuinely will make you throw a humbling shot on your third if you're out of position. You could very well have to throw a 100-foot upshot just to the front of that OB if you're too far pinched to the right.
I'd say the best play is a sidearm skip shot and get it as far to the right as possible. I like throwing the roller on the second shot, but we'll see if these guys just want to keep it straight ahead. There's OB. The path definitely comes into play.
Yeah, that left side, it kind of wraps around and really contours the hole all the way down.
That's really what you want right there.
Yep, that's the landing zone. Kev going to the sidearm as well.
Looked like that one had a little more power on it. Might skip in front of Rick or pin high with it. No.
No, that's I think the more stable disc though. So I don't know if there is a ton of life on the end of that
Just
one.
playing it safe.
Uli.
Surprised.
With
I'm
the
very
backhand?
surprised that Uli goes backhand. His sidearm's so good.
His sidearm's great, you know, but I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's what you're comfortable throwing on that ante, spiking it in. But that backhand definitely has the possibility of going farther down there. Calvin going with the stable driver there.
They all put themselves in position. Like I said before, Calvin's got a lot of power, so it should be easy for him to give himself a look at the birdie.
Ooh, stop. That's so close to being
He's
dangerous.
competing with the OB, but he's safe. Uli pulls it a little bit to the right, but he looked like he found a gap.
Is going to have rough footing, though. There is like a pine cone massacre down below that tree. I like the sidearm play. You go with the roller, but, you know,
That was a strong sidearm from Kevin.
at the end of the day, whatever's finishing right on the second shot is going to be probably the best option.
It's not a bad hole to just take your par and move on. You see a lot of people go OB.
Look at Rick with the big
Rick.
distance.
Bit off a little more than you
Yep.
could chew there.
Yeah, it does find that out of bounds. It's unfortunate.
That's what happens.
Getting aggressive, you pay the price, you know.
Uli takes a high mid-range. Looks like it's going OB, unfortunately.
Oh, gosh, yep. That does find that OB creek short, and that's what we're talking. You know, maybe he's out of position. Maybe he throws that upshot and takes that par you're talking.
He needs some distance on that.
Oh.
Skip. Wow. I'd say he's pretty happy about what just happened.
Yes, that's what the most forgiving kick I've ever seen.
I mean, he
maybe?
skipped off a root and jumped over a wall. He's pretty happy.
Yeah.
Kevin's so smooth when he throws the frisbee. I like watching the kid play, honestly. We've been calling him Boy Wonder out here on tour.
I like that. And I think you hit the nail on the head, man, when he's throwing the frisbee, because he's just a quality
so
frisbee
smooth
thrower.
and so strong, and you could just see the athleticism in his throw. Because he never looks like he's trying that hard, but his disc just goes a mile.
Exactly.
Uli with a nice little sidearm chip shot. Get back on the green. Ricky hammers one in from circle's edge.
Yeah, Rick decided to go across the bridge as Uli was throwing, so I was like caught 200 feet away. It was not ideal. There you go, Calvin. That's the way
finally
to capitalize.
Connects with one. That was a good looking putt, though.
That was,
and that's showing more confidence in the putting stroke.
No question. And you know, after a shot that should have been out of bounds, kick in. That's you know.
Kevin looks focused. Just enough over the rim.
There is kind of this like slight budding rivalry between Kevin and Ricky. They've been playing on a lot of cards recently, and I know that, you know, they want to beat each other.
Ricky has a lot of skills, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold Kevin Jones off for too much longer on tour. Kevin's coming up hot, and I mean, Kevin's got the distance. We'll see if Kevin wants to put in the work during the off season, but I would expect that he's going to be in top 4 by the end of the year.
I think
season,
you're very right.
You know?
And what it comes down to, you hit the nail on the head. You know, is he willing to put in the work? You know, I think a lot of people say yes, but it remains to be seen.
Ricky's starting to be a veteran on tour, and he's always up there in the mix. But these young guns are coming up.
You know it, man.
It's going to be interesting.
Hole 7 is a tough one, Nikko. It's straight off the tee, but once you get to this tunnel, it is so far right.
That was a nice late turn that he had, but a little straighter than you want. It's tough, though, that this hole's really challenging to get it all the way back to the right. The best shot I seen was Garrett Gerthy going up over the top and then trying to bend it to the right with a wraith.
Okay, so like big distance and okay, interesting. Rick here going with
roller.
Roller.
This is the play I take.
Yep, this is the only other option I see.
Like it's safe, and I could give myself a jump putt. It's
Exactly.
not like I'm going to park it, but I can get a good look at it.
And you're going to make the Mando. You're going to be in the mouth. You'll be all right. Uli, just doesn't quite get the turn on it. Is going to hyzer back into the woods. He's all right,
Not
though.
bad.
It's
Looked
easy
like he was
3.
just playing it for the 3.
Yeah.
Rick has a legitimate jumper.
Kev, too. I wish people
Almost
could see the look in your
speechless.
eyes right now.
That was a great putt. I'd say close to 70 feet there.
Absolutely. Outside of circle 2, for sure. Uli trying to match. Not quite.
Looked like he had a tough line.
Mm-hmm. Calvin made his way up there pretty good. And, you know, not so committed putt, though, unfortunately.
Like Rick had a tiny tree, but nothing in the way for a guy like that.
Yeah. Yeah, a little skinny tree. I've seen him straddle around a redwood before. Yeah, 3 is not an uncommon score on this. Very few 2s and very few 4s, frankly.
Right.
Kev now, though, with that one-stroke advantage, heading into now the more
That
open
was kind
holes
of a
on the
par
course.
3.5, really.
I agree.
I've only seen 1-2. I've only heard of 1-2 on that 2 now that I watched.
I was gonna say this is the second one that I've heard of. You said Garrett Gerthy threw the best drive. Did he do it?
He did.
Okay, so there's the other one. Hole 8 though, par 4, 906 feet. I guarantee you,
This is
you
a
have not
great
heard
hole.
of any 2s on this one.
Another placement shot. It's all about putting the first shot in position if you want to have a chance at 3, and all these guys have the distance. So I'd say we're gonna see at least 1-3.
Whew, Kevin playing real close to those trees, but he's in position in the center of the fairway. Ooh, Calvin, early release.
That's surprising that he would take the up the middle play because
I
he's got
agree.
so much power going hyzer. I mean,
totally
I go
agree.
hyzer, and I can get there, and I know that Calvin has more distance than me.
Sure. Rick, that's prime. That's right where you want to be if you're trying to attack.
Usually going up the middle. Puts a good move on it.
He throws those
Not
really
a lot
good,
of distance, but he had a clean line.
Exactly. And I feel like he gets that sneaky, kind of that Johnny McRae spin distance on it where it just keeps on pushing. Calvin just looking to get up and down for his 4. Really a fine score in this hole.
It's okay. If you have the distance, I think you want the 3. Uli's playing it safe. I want to see
Maybe
these guys
too
go
safe.
for it.
I think we might have a couple of aggressive bids here on our hands for Kevin and Ricky. I think they've kind of like locked each other in their sights. The safe aggressive bid.
I think he was playing it safe. He wasn't
Yeah.
really going for the island
Mm-hmm.
because he's so good at jump putting. See if he could execute from 60.
Yeah, dang near close, the same as last
In
hole.
his money range, he's already hit some nice ones. Rick wasn't really happy with that, but I think he's still up there. He's in Ricky range.
Yep, he'll have a putt off with Kevin if nothing else. That sidewalk does play as a river, so sidewalk and beyond to the right is out of bounds, but if you short it, that left side could play out of bounds as well. It's a nice up there by Calvin. Ooh, Uli.
He chipped it up there. It's a little bit low. See what he could do with it.
Oh.
Got it high enough, but looks like there's a little wind.
Yeah, and he is going to have, a good 20-foot headwind putt coming back after that. Ooh, I thought Ricky might have put that one in there for a sec.
Both of them could have been thinking about the OB right behind the basket, so it's hard to be super aggressive.
Absolutely.
Knowing that it's windy and the OB's less than 20 feet behind it.
That's a good putt into a right to left wind right there by Calvin.
Yeah, I think he's starting to get fed up. Hopefully he could turn it around. Nice and high in the chains.
Yep. He for a second you could see his body kind of ooching that one down, but hey.
I mean, honestly, you really have to be dead center on these Prodigy
I agree.
baskets. You don't want to be high right, high left, flat on the right. I mean, you got to be dead center to make them on the Prodigy baskets.
Yep. You hit that chainmail right in the heart and it sticks. Uli taking the unfortunate bogey, really dropping off after that 4-4 start. It's looking like a 2-horse race at this point.
You typically see a 4 on that hole. I mean, I'm sure there's been 10 threes.
If that. Our field is very small.
A lot of strong throwers, though.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
I'm
It's
interested to see that stat
it's the best of the best.
on the island hole.
Par 5, hole 9. This one you're probably not going to see a 3 on unless you're watching Eagle McMahon, who did come through with the Eagle 3, playing this hole.
4 is a good score on this hole,
Yes.
especially with the OB on the right. And if you get on the trees on the left-hand side, this is a huge play. I can't even believe that he's taking
Right?
the roller. But, hey, if you throw as far as Kevin Jones, you can do anything you want.
It's hard to question, exactly. That is
Plenty
so
far
good.
enough.
That is so good.
And it's better to be to the left because then you have the hyzer angle keeping you away from the OB. If you're short right, you see people take the turnover, which could get them OB.
Exactly. I mean, once you set that angle down to the right, that nose angle, you never know what's going to happen. But this, a different kind of roller from Rick, but this is working out wonderfully as well.
I wonder if Rick would take the roller if he didn't see Kevin do it.
I agree. Because it's just a big, wide
It's
open
interesting
field.
how that works out sometimes.
Yep.
Every once in a while you'll see somebody change their game plan depending on what another player does.
Well, and
Kind of
especially
you want to compete with them, the competitive part of us. You're like, okay, I got that roller. You didn't do it right.
Exactly.
I'll get it a little
I
further.
can flip that one over. Yep.
Uli's taking the traditional straight shot, fades out left. Anything past the pole on the left
Is fine.
is going to give you a good look at the birdie.
Uli playing it pretty safe.
Are they calling this one a par 4 and he's at the skip?
Ooh, that's good. It's a par 5. But that is a good little check up there. Calvin with a similar angle.
Calvin putting a smash on this one.
Get back. Oof.
He got a little unlucky.
Yeah, if it's at a foot to the left, that comes right back in. Does catch that tree, though. Rick,
These guys are going
back-to-back
for the
rollers.
3. This is impressive. I'm feeling like I might need to take a 3 today.
Right? These
The
guys
finals.
are battling.
Kev said he's going for it. Look how far up there he is.
He's going roller as well. This is insane. Just stay down.
Looked like a lot of fun.
Entertainment value high. Yes.
It's like bowling with the bumpers up.
I like that. Calvin with the more traditional sidearm in rather than the roller, and is going to
That
be
looked good.
60-50 out maybe? Uli going, I believe,
Uli throwing some
A3
good
here.
golf shots on this hole.
Mm-hmm.
Puts himself in range, maybe 28 feet. And Rick doesn't miss these shots very often.
Nope.
He's going to chip it very close to the basket if he's got his stable putter in his hands.
Yeah, that's easy money right there. Kev, I was kind of thinking he might run this, but
He's not going crazy. You know, all
Yep.
he needs a 4. A
And
3 is just a big-time bonus.
and the basket is on that little knoll, so you run it, you're very well going to have Circle's Edge coming back.
Look like he's picking up strokes with his 4.
Yeah,
so
it's
it's a
not
smart
wrong.
play.
These guys are battling it out with each other, but there is one wild card spot. So, granted, if Rick or Kev at this point come in second place on the card, hope is not lost. So, you're probably not running everything mindlessly.
I was feeling like you need at least a 9 or 10 under to get in on the wild card spot because there's some hot players.
Yeah, we were talking about it the night before. Really, like 10 down seemed like the number where if you shoot it, you feel comfortable about your chances advancing, but you do never know.
On a course like this, if you have good distance, the par 4s play really easy, though. So you see birdies almost all the time,
I agree.
especially with this group of players.
And look, yeah.
16 of the best in the world, they're going to take birdies on the par 4 9 out of 10 times.
No question. And look at the scores we have. 5 down, 6 down through 9 holes. We've got these guys on an incredibly hot start. They're looking to really set course records at this point.
I don't think Calvin would take another 6 on that hole if he played it again. I really don't. He's got so much distance. He could take the 4 easily. Same with Uli. He just let it get away.
I agree. We'll see if these guys can get it back on track during our second part of our quarterfinal matchup. Join us next time.